Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Accidental Mentor. I'm Charlene Garrett, your host. Thank you so much for joining us in this series, Mentor Minutes. These are short, insightful episodes where I share lessons and stories from my own life experiences. If you enjoy what you hear today, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. You can also leave a comment on my blog at charlenegarrett.com. And there's a blog for every episode, so just leave a comment or a question anywhere or email me at podcast@charlenegarrett.com. Today's episode touches on a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and I hated it at one time. And that's the topic of networking. Now, I know what you might be thinking, ugh, networking. Conjures up images of stiff business events where everyone hands out business cards like they're going out of style, or maybe awkward business events where you look around trying to find somebody to talk to, or you stand up against the wall like a wallflower drinking coffee that you don't actually like. Trust me, I used to think the same thing, and I'm an extrovert, but I still didn't like those networking events. Over the years, I've come to realize that networking is so much more than an event. It's actually about creating genuine relationships, making connections, and maintaining them. And really, networking, you can see it as a way of actually connecting people to other people that you know, people and opportunities to other people. When we do that, we are doing networking at our best. We are providing value because we are connecting to people. And I'm telling you, sowing and reaping works. You will reap that same thing, and you will create a network of people who really do have each other's back, even when they don't know each other yet, because we borrow trust from each other. And we're going to talk a little bit more about borrowed trust. I've been thinking more about this because of something recently that happened in my life. You know, after living in Nashville for about 13 years, I decided to make a big move to Northern Kentucky. And when you believe it, all the connections that I've made over the years played an integral role in making this transition smoother. Everything about this transition I can trace back to relationships. You see, friendships from my college years, yes, we're going back 1996, guys. I graduated from college in 1996. I was in college for 3 years. I was 18, 19, and 20 years old. And in those 3 years, I made two significant, close best friends. And those two friends I've kept in touch with very intentionally over the last 30 years. I also was a pre-med major and had friends around my major and roommates. And those friends and roommates actually were also in a sorority that I was in. Shout out to Epsilon Lambda Phi at Lee University. Those friends, we didn't get a chance to go super deep. I would say we have a handful of really significant experiences. And some of them were older than me or younger than me, but this bond, this connection of being in the sorority has helped us loosely stay in touch over the years. So let's talk about something that happened a while back. Many years ago, I was traveling on a buddy pass. I had a friend who worked for Delta, and she'd give me a buddy pass, and I was traveling internationally, and I found myself stuck overnight at the Cincinnati airport. And if you've ever traveled on a buddy pass, they don't pay for a hotel. And as a young 20-something-year-old young woman, I didn't have any money. So I looked in my phone and I texted an old friend from college who I probably had not reached out to in many years. And she completely saved the day. She picked me up from the airport, let me crash at her parents' house, and then dropped me back at the airport early the next day. That's the power of good old networking. It's making your requests known. It's letting people know you need something. It's reaching out and not being afraid to ask. And also responding when somebody asks you for a favor. That's networking. Fast forward to this last year. I actually reached out to that same friend because I knew she lived up here in Northern Kentucky. And I said, hey, I'm moving to your neck of the woods. And she jumped into action. She helped me find doctors, introduced me to caregivers for my mom, plugged me into friendships and Bible study, all because of a connection we both had, essentially just that we kept alive without even trying. So yes, relationships can truly be a lifeline. Now, you may be saying, Charlene, I don't have old college friends or those kinds of connections. That's okay. Networking can start with something as simple as asking people you trust for a recommendation. It's what I like to call borrowed trust. Whether it's finding a good handyman, a reliable doctor, or a job, word of mouth can be your best friend. True story. Let's go back let's go back right after college. My first big job was at UPS, thanks to networking. In 1998, after moving to Texas, I was living with my friend's family and I needed a job. I had a degree in biology and I didn't really want to do anything with it. I didn't like any of the jobs. I really wanted to go to medical school. And I looked and I didn't feel like I was qualified for anything. So my friend's mom said, you know what? I have a friend who works at UPS. She's a recruiter. Will you go see her? And I thought, UPS, why would I want to work at UPS? Don't they ship packages or something? Well, I went and I talked with her and there was an opportunity for a part-time job working in the evenings. I didn't want to work in the evenings. I didn't really want to work at UPS, but I needed a job and it was $10.45 an hour. Now, I said this to a friend recently and she was like, oh, that's really low. Guys, remember, this is 1998. In college, I made $4.25 an hour for what I did. So it was a lot of money. I thought, wow, that's pretty good. And you know what? 5 promotions and a full-time job later inside UPS. That little networking opportunity sent me on a career path that would profoundly shape my future. I honestly don't know where I would be today if I had not said yes to that opportunity that I wasn't so sure of. And I said yes to that, not because I applied on something online, but through a networked connection. And you know what? UPS even funded my master's degree, all from one borrowed trust. The point here is not that my story is exceptional, but that it is the principles of networking that can apply to anyone. Asking for help, leveraging relationships, and maintaining those bridges can lead to amazing opportunities. And it doesn't have to be formal. You just chat, catch up, stay in touch, send an occasional text when you have met somebody after a while. You never know when someone will turn out to be a pivotal connection and where you might be a pivotal connection for somebody else. Perhaps one of the biggest hurdles for many, especially women, is expressing our needs. We often feel pressured to have everything together. But let me tell you, people can't help you if they don't know you need help. So speak up. Let your network know what you're looking for, whether it's a job, a mentor, or even a good dentist. And then if you hear somebody that has a need and you know of a connection, offer your connection, offer your network to them. You don't have to be responsible for the results to just make connections. You can let them do that. Why am I sharing these mentor minutes with you? Because it's life's valuable lessons that often come from unexpected encounters and the people we meet along the way. So embrace those accidental moments. These networking moments are also how we get accidental mentorship moments. Let your journey be enriched by others. Thank you for joining me today. I hope these snippets inspire you to foster your own networking opportunities. Keep tuning in for more Mentor Minutes where we celebrate the growth that comes from living together. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at charlenegarrett.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Even more than your thoughts, I want to hear your stories. Until next time, this is Charlene Garrett for The Accidental Mentor signing off. Happy networking!